What is up, people who subscribe to my channel for whatever reason? Yes, I know this review is late since the series literally came out 4 to 5 months ago. I wanted to do a review then, but I was lazy and I didn't want to get off my ass to do anything. So now, I'm going to review Transformers War for Cybertron Siege. Part 1 of the new Netflix War for Cybertron trilogy. This isn't really a review, I just want to call it a review so I can get more views. Clickbait motherfuckers. I'm just saying. I'm just basically saying what I like about the series, what I don't like about the series. My opinions are completely subjective or objective. I don't really know which word to use. This is my opinion. If you don't agree with me, that's perfectly fine. I just want to let you guys know what I liked and didn't like about War for Cybertron Siege. Come here, Alma. Before we start, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure to like and comment or Elmer's gonna be in your bed tonight and scratch the hell out of you. But, okay, let's get to the review. Let's start with the dislikes for the series. War for Cybertron Siege is a pretty competent show. It's not near animated Prime or Beast Wars level. It's not quite Generation 1. I don't really hold Generation 1 to the highest regard, but I do know it's a pretty decent series for what followed. I'd say it's around Unicron Trilogy level, about like Cybertron level. That's kind of like Cybertron, in all honesty. I'm planning on rewatching it. But the main problems I have with it are the voice acting and the designs. Oh god, the voice acting. Listen, I'm not the first person to say this. Every other review has commented on the voice acting, but come on. Come on, Hasbro. And ever since it came out, that they did that shit so they wouldn't have to pay Peter Cullen and treat him with respect because he was in a union, tried to do the same crap with the Bumblebee movie. I'm not saying that I don't like his new voice actor. His new voice actor is pretty decent to me. At times it sounds like he's hemming it in, but you can tell he's putting effort into the character. I personally think he should quit with the Optimus Prime impression, should just do his own thing, like my two other favorite Optimus Prime voices, Gary Chalk and David Kaye. They did amazing. They didn't try to imitate Peter, they did their own things and it fit the characters. Now, when I watch the Unicron Trilogy or animated, picturing Peter Cullen voicing Unicron Trilogy Optimus, it could work, but it wouldn't feel right. An animated Optimus, it just doesn't sound right considering his personality. Animated Optimus is as close to Orion Pax as you can get, to the point of where if I was to remake animated, I would just call him Orion Pax. That's what he is. The voice acting in Siege, you can tell that they tried to put effort in it, but came out sounding like strange and off. The only voices I don't really like are like Soundwave and Shockwave, because I can understand Soundwave having a vocoder voice. It makes sense, but the vocation just sounds wrong and weird and off. It doesn't feel right. The redubs have been amazing. They should have gone with more G1-like vocoding if you're gonna vocode his voice. And then Shockwave sounds like he got kicked in the fucking nuts. So he constantly talks like this. I mean, the only Decepticon should have a screechy voice is Starscream, which they kept, which is what I like. Every other voice actor in the series besides Optimus, I'm fine with them. They did a decent job for the characters they were doing. It sounded right. I'm kind of glad that they gave like that sound effect that like makes their voice sound deeper, makes their voice sound like it's coming from inside the machine, like the Star Wars droid voice modification tool. I like that. It was good. My second main problem with War for Cybertron Siege is the designs. Listen, it's not the animators' fault. Don't blame the animators. They had no choice because Hasbro wanted to be toy accurate so it could tie in with the figures. But at the same time, it looks weird. Like they have like massive pieces of kibble gaps inside them that I don't think they're ever gonna explain why they have those. Elmer, what are you doing? Little weirdo. And Bumblebee's design, I hate it so much. Generation 1 Bumblebee's design, I fucking hate it. It looks so bad. I don't like it. Every other design, they were trying to do G1 accurate. That's fine. I like that. They worked. Bumblebee's design just looked so weird when he was walking. The weird Volkswagen type feet. I mean, I'm not a big fan of Movie Bee's design, but I like how the Bumblebee movie, which I already have some hostile feelings towards it, I don't know why. Maybe I'll do a review of it in the future. I like how they incorporated the G1 and movie designs into his character and into his design. It just looks off. G1 Bumblebee and CGI does not work. It looks weird and it looks off. And that brings me to my second point about the designs. They make no sense in the context of Cybertron. It shows like Transformers Animated and G1 and Cybertron duology, War for Cybertron and Fall of Cybertron, the original games. They turn into Cybertronian vehicles, alien, robot-like vehicles, because they're on a sci-fi world. Cybertron is a sci-fi world. So it makes sense, guys. It makes sense. But now, since they had no choice but to design them after like they've seen the toys and to make it look similar, it just looks weird. Because instead of turning into Cybertronian vehicles, where the Seekers are the only ones who do that, like the characters, they just turn into Earth vehicles with Cybertronian kibble and writing. Prowl literally just turns into a Earth police car with some Cybertronian writing on it. It's kind of lazy, and it bothered me the first time I saw it. I just don't like it. It makes no sense. They haven't been to Earth. They shouldn't have Earth-like vehicle modes. I get the animators had no choice, and they were working on a budget, but it just looked strange. Then, my third and last problem with the designs is how they barely ever transform. There are multiple scenes throughout the series where they're running instead of transforming. Like towards the end of the series, on like the second to last episode, Bumblebee, RC, and Cog are running from Sound Blaster and his followers, and they get on this weird hover platform. They should just transform, because that's what they do. They transform. The show is called Transformers. They shouldn't be running. They have no excuse to run unless they're running into battle and to kick some ass. They shouldn't be running. They should be transforming, because it's in the name. Okay, I'm sick of complaining. I'm going to go ahead and move on to the stuff I like about War for Cybertron Siege before this video gets to 10 minutes and gets too long. Because I know you guys probably tuned out and are just listening to this while doing something else. That's okay, that's what I do. But I like it. It's a good series. Like I said, not Beast Wars animated or Prime level, but it's still good. I like what they tried to do. They incorporated multiple elements from previous series, like the Allspark and things like that, into the series to make it look good and make it good in general. They're like a beginning story for Transformers fans who just get into the series through Siege. It's unlikely, but it happens. They just incorporate all the best elements from other continuities, like Alpha Trion, Megatron being a former gladiator turned revolutionary who betrayed his brothers and became a fucking psychopath, launching the Allspark into space, which dooms Cybertron and the Autobots speed off to get it in the arc. Like, all these elements from different continuities combining it. I like that. The Allspark may feel overplayed and, like, just boring at this point. I know, it's been used in, like, 5 continuities before Siege. It's gonna be used over and over again. Get used to it. It's basically the new Matrix of leadership. Not that that's going anywhere. But still, I like how they incorporated multiple elements. I also like the design of the series. Listen, I don't like the character designs, but how they made Cybertron, you can tell that they were putting effort into it. I'm sorry. Like in the Cybertron duology, War for Cybertron and Fall of Cybertron, they made the buildings huge, because, you know, these are giant robots. They may look short on screen, but in reality, each character is between, like, 10 and, like, 30 to 40 feet. So you can tell, they made Cybertron look like an actual planet that these behemoths would just be walking on. The color in the series, it may look saturated, but that's the point. It's a war series. It's a darker take on Transformers, and they make it look like that to show how darker it is. Towards the end of the series, Cybertron gets lighted up in color after the Allspark leaves, and I heard in a video that symbolizes hope for the planet's future. So I like how they use color throughout the series. It goes from dark, drab, and gray to colorful when good things are happening. I like the takes on the characters, too. Like, if I had to choose a new big character from the series, it would probably be Elita 1. Now listen, unlike certain people I will not mention, I'm a sucker for ships and Transformers series. And whenever I think of a pairing for Optimus, it should be Elita 1. Whenever I see like shit like fan art for Optimus X Ratchet, no. Ew. Get that stuff out of here. He should be with Elita 1. Elita 1 is his partner, and it's amazing. Optimus X Elita is amazing. And I like how instead of just making them X, they come off as old friends. They have a close relationship. She even points out how full of shit he is at times. But still, I hope they get together sometime in the future because it would make sense since she, Red Alert, Jetfire, and Chromium are still alive and on Cybertron fighting off the Decepticons. I also like how they gave more screen time to less used characters. Like, when was the last time characters like Red Alert and Mirage and fucking Impactor had main roles? It wasn't just the main guys you see in every series. They gave big roles to characters. Like Barricade. Barricade is my favorite movie versus con, and I always like using him when I'm writing my fanfictions. So I like how they took him from the movies, kept his design, kept his personality, just kept him as like one of Megatron's closest servants. So I like how they did that. Anyways, this video is getting too long. If you guys want to hear more of my opinions, I will make another part 2 video to this. Before I leave, I just want to say I have stuff coming for the channel. I took a break, and I've been taking, like, giant-ass breaks. I mean, I'm not JonTron. I'm not going to try and do that. I want to have a consistent schedule. When late December to early January rolls around, I'm going to be doing some toy reviews of the TF toys my parents are getting me for Christmas. It's going to be fucking awesome. Gonna be doing more fanfiction dumpster dive episodes, and go ahead and finish up Thomas the Train X Reader and move on to some other fanfictions some of my Reddit buddies suggested to me. As always, if you want to see more content, make sure to like this video, share this video on any of your social medias, subscribe, and comment. If you want to see some of the random shit I get up to every once in a while, I'll link my Tumblr in the description, and I'm out of here. Peace out, guys.